Okay, so before I start the main point of this, I just want to illustrate the extent to which my system is can still be kind of hyper vigilant in a way. So, I'm going to talk about how the spiritual process can have many awkward phases, and so why am I making this video? Because well, maybe what if I look awkward? What if I'm being awkward? Maybe I want to explain why. Maybe I want to give myself a framework, a reason for that. Um, and then I started to go one step further, and that's what I'm doing now, which is like explaining that that's what I'm doing. So it's just like it goes layer by layer by layer of like, if I get far enough back, if I get far enough, you know, dissociated, maybe I don't know, but far enough, like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on. I can manage this. Um, and I do wonder the extent to which there's sort of the backing up so that I can manage things and backing up realizing there's no I and there's no managing. Um, I mean, it's something I'm kind of still exploring. So anyway, on to the actual point of the video, which is, yeah, one of my big fears with all of this was, there's talk about regressing properly, and it's like regressing, that sounds scary. Like, what if I throw an adult tantrum, for example? Already happened. Um, what do you call it? Level unlocked or something. Um, or what if I make really weird YouTube videos and people think I'm weird? Um, I mean, I'm talking about how I was thinking. I care a lot less now. Apparently, I do somewhat though, because I'm making this video. Um, but I'm just kind of trying to let it hang out there, like this. This is how a human mind can work. Trying to manage the unmanageable. So, so yeah, but I notice, you know, spiritual teachers tend to have a kind of not exactly polished. I mean, there's an elegance to it. Like, and sometimes weirdly, like psychopaths can have that same compelling delivery of just total um, channeling from source, and just because they don't doubt themselves, or they don't, they sort of let go of that self-doubt thing and just full speed ahead. Con men, that kind of thing, snake oil salesman. Yeah, those crazy preachers on TV and stuff, where they seem so completely confident. That kind of normie people are like, whoa, look at that. I wish I could do that. I wish I was that sure. I wish I was that certain. I wish I was. Um, yeah, it's like they mimic what they manage to mimic what a spiritual leader uh, should seem like in a way. But there's that little twist that if you have a little bit of radar, you're like, something's not right there. Like something, um, yeah, something's twisted. Um, but if that's your only brush with apparent greatness, then that looks pretty great, or that can look pretty great. Um, and again, I'm not saying all spiritual teachers are crazy TV preachers. Uh, I'm just saying I think that might be a reason why crazy TV preachers can fool people, because they claim and they use that absolute lack of self-consciousness, lack of self-doubt. They mimic it. They maybe even believe it, or it becomes somehow they turn it into a habit. And I mean, one suspects that they're kind of empty slash rotting on the inside, because at the end of the day, they can't answer hard questions, and they're not very kind, and they're corrupt, most of them. Um, whereas like non-duality teachers, uh, I think of like Rupert or Francis, Lucille, or Lisa. There's a kind of poise and um, unshakability, and I don't care what question you ask, and a kindness that's not syrupy, but that feels like the universe in a way. It doesn't always coddle you, doesn't always give you exactly what you want, but yeah, I don't know. It's Yeah. So I think Angelo's delivery is so captivating to so many people because there's something so, I don't want to say unpolished because that's not how I see it, but not quite as, like, there can almost be a sense that the others are either a little bit tired or in a little teeny tiny tinge of a spiritual teacher pose. Like especially older men who spend a long time in a very, um, and I could be totally wrong, by the way. These are just musings for what that's worth. Um, a very patriarchal society that's very repressive. They, if they're good, they acknowledge it's a life's work, and we got stuff too. We got blind spots too. Um, Angelo is such a nice mix of, well, I mean, literally everyone is a mix of masculine and feminine. And he somehow, he balances it very well while still being a man. Uh, and it's yeah, there's just a little bit more of a, how do you say, colorfulness to it? Like not a manicured Japanese forest, but like a friendly jungle, maybe. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so along the way when I was, I'm still on my path, but along the way of my path, there have been fears that, like, what happens when I totally stop managing my image? Like, it's when my image is not up to me at all. Am I going to be awkward? Am I going to be cringy? Am I going to be well, am I going to be rude? Am I going to be cruel? It's like you don't you like the point is you don't know. So, and you don't control it. So, you know, that's that's kind of scary. Um and yeah, that last video I did, there's been kind of a sense of like, some people are probably going to find that cringy, and that's fine. I mean, it's like glimpses of how little any of this matters. makes it kind of um, easier to, even if a little cringe or a little fear arises, just kind of let it pass through, um, and make a video about it. Um, yeah, if that's one of your fears too, you're not alone. Uh, and like, there's no point feeling bad about it or feeling like, oh, spiritual people shouldn't care about their image. It's like nobody should. There's no should. There's no shouldn't. Like you can do whatever you want. Choose your own adventure. Um, and then eventually maybe any of us might live into a reality where something that seemed to matter like really doesn't matter anymore. And in a way, like even sort of, obviously not just the words, but also the affect, the body language, the tics, the um, the exuberance. It can be a kind of transmission in itself, and um, like maybe I did my last video all wrong. I don't know. Like I don't know. Or maybe it's gonna touch somebody and transmit something. I don't know. It just happened. It just happened. Stuff just happens, and things. Well, I shouldn't. I don't know. There's no way things are, but for me, things so far have gone in a bit of a way where things don't move too much faster than I'm ready for in general. It's like the system kind of gets a chance to catch up. So it's not just like you're just flayed open and thrown into the fire pit and good luck. It's like you kind of get to work on your fears and insecurities along the way. On my fears and insecurities along the way. Um, yeah, scrabble up a little higher, peek your head over, you know, um, take some breaths, see how it is. Usually, I mean, so far, so good. Um, but yeah, it's like it's serious. Like it, by definition, it's you don't get to control it. You don't get to manage it. You get to breathe as well as you can as an apparent human, as things happen. And so far, things have been pretty kind of, you know, uh, not bum rushing me along, but not letting me dawdle too much either. So it's kind of up against the edge of what my system can tolerate sometimes, and that's okay. That's adventure. That's real. That's growth. That's exciting. Like so many things like skydiving, or uh, world travel in the Middle East by yourself. When you're up against the limits of, well, the apparent limits, the limits you believe in about yourself, then that's it. That's exciting. That's adventure. Um, and if your greatest fear is looking like an idiot in front of your fourth grade class, then make videos, act like an idiot, and see that it doesn't fucking matter. Don't need to fear that. Um, Now, if I have a psychotic break and take my clothes off and like run in the floors of Congress, that'd be kind of cool, actually. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice, but um, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like anything can happen. That's the thing. So, uh, but I don't know. What can you say? I'm just talking. I think this is an exercise in kind of calming my own system down a little bit after some big openings. So, uh, yeah, that's it for now.